Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a Get It Scrapped page. So for this assignment, I was asked to make a decade layout. I decided to choose the year or the decade, the 1980s, because I was born in the 80s, and also I have been thinking about this memory and it is super vivid in my mind. And I texted my dad about it because I was like, am I just making this up or is this actually something that happened? And he said, no, you're not making it up. That actually happened. And it happened the exact way that I remembered it. So I was super excited that I wasn't crazy. And as you can see here, I am just using my picture editing app. I already have the photo edited and then I put it into my live collage app and picked out a a template that would make my photo a little bit smaller than a 4x6. I think it prints off as a 4x5, and then I'm printing it off on my Canon Selfie because I didn't want to use the original photo, and I thought the color would probably be better on my Canon Selfie anyway than in the original photo. Because I like my photos to be dark and just like really like contrast, I guess you could say, have a greater contrast, whereas this older photo doesn't have that. But also I don't want to use the older photo because what if one of my sisters wants a copy or something like that. I don't want to use the older photos. I don't know if you're like that. Also, I printed off on my Canon Selfie a couple different Cabbage Patch Kid photos. I don't remember the doll that I got this year for Christmas, so I guess I should start over. So Cabbage Patch dolls came out in '83, I believe is what I saw. I had to look it up because I don't even remember when I got mine. So Cabbage Patch Kids came out in '83. I probably got mine in '86 because I was born in '83, so I was just a newborn baby. So my parents waited a few years to get me mine, and I also had another sister in '86. And I asked my mom, and she said she thinks they probably got those for us the year 1986. So I decided to scrapbook this memory. And this photo that I have that is actually, I think it's a Christmas, probably when I was 1 or 2, so it was probably '84 or '85 this Christmas. So it's not the actual Christmas that I got the Cabbage Patch dolls, but I was okay with scrapbooking this photo because it made me feel a little bit more attached to the story rather than just having the photos of the Cabbage Patch doll and the Cabbage Patch Kids logo. It was nicer to have an actual photo from that era. So here you can see I am just trying to figure out how I want to put these 3 photos together. I had 3 different size photos, which made it a little bit hard to kind of scrapbook them all together. So I decided to go with this red paper, and this is from the Wonder collection. When I first got this assignment, I definitely knew I was going to scrap the 80s, and I definitely knew that I was going to use the Wonder collection. So even though this is a Christmas story and there's a Christmas photo here, I'm not using a Christmas collection, and I really, really love how this layout turned out. So here I am just using this paper. It's a red, I think it's X's on it. It might actually be triangles. I don't quite remember. But I just do a very teeny tiny little border. Let me see. Yeah, it is X's that is on that red paper. I will leave a link below to the actual post where you can find all of the supplies on the Get It Scrapped blog. So there are, I think, 5 other ladies that are doing this assignment with me, so you can see all of our decade-inspired layouts on the post for today. Okay, so I finally am going to decide to use this background paper, and this one is actually from Meggy Holmes. Not the newest line, but the one before it, the Gather collection. And I got that in a Click kit from 2016, and I absolutely loved that kit, but I hadn't used it up yet. And so I'm going to use a little bit of that on this layout as well. So here you can see I have kind of stacked my photos on top of each other because that Cabbage Patch logo one had quite a bit of space, and I wasn't sure what to do with that space. So here I am pulling out a bunch of these ephemera pieces, and this was from an older Click kit. I don't remember what Click kit this came from, but I think this was from a 2015 Click kit that I just never finished using up. And then I also had these Wonder Collection puffy stickers that I pulled out. There was that Good Day acetate piece, and then this XOXO ticket stub. I had this butterfly and camera and another Admit One ticket stub. And so I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I want to use from all of these ephemera pieces. I am actually going to use the two clusters that you can see I've already put together, the Good Day XOXO, and then that camera cluster that's over there in the left hand corner under or right next to that Cabbage Patch photo. So here I'm just going to set aside all of these other things, and I am just going to kind of play around with these clusters. Now you can see that I have the photos on top of this polka dot paper. I really love this polka dot paper. That one is also from the Gather collection, and I am going to end up matting both photos on this this paper. So here I've decided I'm not going to keep the photos next to each other. I'm going to have two separate clusters on the layout. So there's going to be the top cluster that's going to have the actual photo of a Christmas day, and then I'm also going to do another cluster with just the Cabbage Patch Kids logo and the Cabbage Patch Girl. So here I'm just cutting up that paper, and I'm going to place it up there in the top. And then the scrap from the excess from that cut that I did, I am going to just do a little border on this photo. I really do like this camera cluster that I have set up there, so I am going to glue that to the top there, and it is going to cover up that random space up there, and it's going to make it look a lot more cohesive with the layout. I had a puffy star that I pulled off of the Wonder Collection sticker set, and I'm just kind of moving around all of these things in that little photo cluster area. I did find an acetate piece that said Adventure on it, and I was thinking maybe I would put it to the left there on that bottom photo cluster, but I decided against it. Okay, so now I am trying to figure out what else I want to do. I pull off this house, and I'm thinking I want to use that house, but I'm not going to in the end. I glue down this cute little arrow. It's just pink dipped in gold at the end. And then let's see, I think I'm going to start cutting up some more pieces to layer behind the photos. And here you can see I feel like the layers are getting lost because they're the same color. So I have that red, and then this is kind of like a pinkish red. It's kind of pink or coral, I guess you could say. And then it's got some reddish darker pink hash marks in the layout for the pattern, or in the cardstock. Sorry, I can't think. In the patterned paper. So I ink the edges on both pattern papers, and then I'm going to glue it down to this big blue paper, and then I'm going to ink the edges on that. And you can barely tell on the blue paper, but that is okay. It doesn't bother me. Like, I can notice it's there, and I think it makes it stand out off of the background a little bit more. and I like that look. Okay, so I've got that cluster inked, and now I'm going to ink this little photo cluster down here. I do have to kind of peel up a little bit of the red paper just to get it inked enough. And then I'm going to ink the blue background paper, and I'm also going to ink the embellishments as well. Okay, so now you can see I'm kind of messing around with the placement of the photos. I wasn't quite sure at this time exactly how I wanted to place them. I knew I wanted one in the top left and one in the bottom right, or, you know, that area. And so here I pull out this stencil, and this one is from the Crafter's Workshop, I think is what it's called. And it's just a bunch of triangles together, and so I'm going to use my blue Outdoor Denim ink that I've been using, and this is from Creative Memories. I think it's Outdoor Denim. I think that's what I'm using. It's either Outdoor Denim or Sapphire. I'm pretty sure it's Outdoor Denim. And so I'm just going to use that, and then I'm going to also bring out some of my Close to My Heart. I think I just used Barn Red. Let me see. No, I think I used Ruby is the one that I use. So here you can see I'm just using this pigment ink and just putting it on in just random spots. I didn't even get a re-inker or anything like that. Not a re-inker. I didn't even get a sponge. I just was using the pad right straight on the stencil. I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. And so I'm going to put my photos down. I'm going to clean off my stencil real quick just to make sure that it doesn't stain the stencil. And that takes a little bit of time. Should have just taken it to the bathroom and washed it off. I thought it would be easier doing it this way, but it wasn't. Okay, so now I am going to bring my layout back over, and I think I decided there's not enough red in the bottom right hand corner. And so I'm going to bring out my stencil again. I don't know if I do that now or if I'm going to do that quite a bit later. So we'll see. Okay, so now I have this paper to the right of me. This is a scrap. It's a full 12 by 12 scrap. I had already cut off the branding strips, so I think it's from the Wonder Collection, but I cannot remember and I don't know. I looked it up on the internet and I just couldn't find it. So if you know what this paper is, please tell me so that I can probably buy more. I really, really like it. On the back of it is a floral. Oh no, it's a Maggie Holmes paper because it's got that Maggie Holmes. It's a teal kind of mint background, and then it's got black and white flowers on it. So if you know what background or what paper that is, please tell me. That would be awesome. Okay, so now you can see here I have to change out my ATG gun because of course it loses all of the tape at the middle of a layout, right? Not at the end or the beginning. Okay, so now you can see here I am back and my ATG gun is all set and ready to go, and I am just gluing down these papers and the photos and everything, and I really, really love how the layering goes on this layout. Okay, so you can see I'm kind of scrolling on my phone, so I apologize about that. I was talking with a group of friends while I was doing this. Okay, so here you can see I feel like there's not enough blue. I said I thought there wasn't enough red, but apparently it was the blue that I didn't think there was enough of. Oh, and a little bit of red. Okay, so I was right. No, wait, that was blue again. No, see? There is red. I'm not going crazy. I was like, I swear I added some more red in the bottom. Oh, goodness. This must be very entertaining. Okay, so now I'm going to start gluing down these strips of paper up here in this, this top left photo corner. And yeah, then I'm going to decide to use that red flare badge because I did decide I wanted that blue paper to be longer than the rest of them, but it turned out that it wasn't long enough because I had cut it, and I shouldn't have cut it, really. Don't you hate it when you do that? So I'm going to cover up that little blank spot with that flare badge that's to the left right there, and that just says, "You are my world." And I just thought that was really cute and simple, so I'm going to stick that there. We are almost done with this layout. I am going to hem and haw and fuss over the title. I think I might actually do the title off camera. I don't think that I do that on the camera, but maybe I do. So here I'm thinking that I'm going to do my journaling, and I'm going to do it in the blank spaces there between the photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out just some of this, what is this? It's a note paper, something like that. I don't remember what it is. And I'm just going to cut it up so that it will fit there, and I will be able to know exactly how much room I have. I like being able to do this because then I'm not guessing if I'm going to have enough room for journaling, because I wanted to make sure that I had enough room for everything that I wanted to say to tell this story. I actually am going to end up, I leave it overnight because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do the title if I put the journaling there. So the photos are going to show you that the title actually goes in that spot where I was going to do journaling, and I am going to journal on the back of the layout. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you will come on over to the Get It Scrapped blog and check out all of the other decade photos. Thanks for watching. Bye.